I'm Carol Hills, and the subject of this slideshow is Zed, as in Z. He's a Tunisian architect, blogger, and cartoonist who remains anonymous. I met Zed, he's the flamingo in this cartoon, at Harvard University in October 2013. He was there to talk to graduate students about the link between architecture and political activism. It was Zed's interest in urbanism, how cities are planned and how those plans affect citizens, that transformed Zed into a political satirist. In 2007, Zed was frustrated that the Tunisian public had no say in how their capital city, Tunis, was being developed. So he started a blog called Débat Tunisien, the Tunisian debate. One of his first entries featured this empty table. Nobody's represented except the flag, the Tunisian government. 7 months later, Zed was starting to morph into a cartoonist. This shows the places around Tunis where huge luxury developments were being planned with high-end apartments, golf courses, upscale retail, marinas, and a giant athletic center, all on prime real estate near cherished bodies of water. Notice the pink flamingos. They'll recur over and over. A few days later, Zed posts this, a full-fledged cartoon. We see the flamingos from the previous image, but this time they're talking, and they're mad. They're saying, "Go away, leave us alone, don't build those huge developments." Zed was becoming political and wanted people to know that these proposed projects were going to use up a lot of the water and possibly threaten the flamingos. And the flamingos had also become stand-ins for frustrated Tunisians. A month later, we see the table again. This time there's a few people sitting there, but they are all Ben Ali supporters. That's the former Tunisian president, Ben Ali. The Tunisian government was already gearing up at this time for the 2009 election. The people underneath the table are the ones who are speaking out against the government. Notice how they're gagged. That's former Tunisian President Ben Ali, as we mentioned before. He's in the picture on the left, and what's significant about this cartoon is that the men are bowing to him instead of Mecca, which is in the reverse direction. This cartoon was the first time that Zed depicted Ben Ali in a cartoon, and that was a daring step to take. Here, Zed is showing how it's okay for a Tunisian to criticize Israel, Islamophobia, or the West. But if you try to criticize the Tunisian government, well, sorry, that won't be tolerated. This cartoon was drawn after the October 2009 presidential elections, and Zed drew this poster for a fictitious play, Le Comédie Électorale, the electoral comedy. Because of the results, the official results showed that 99.9% of Tunisian voters had cast their ballot for Ben Ali. By this time, Tunisian authorities had noticed Zed's blog and they'd tried to shut it down. But Tunisians, being used to censorship, knew all the workarounds, so they were still able to access Zed's blog. Just 1 month later, in November 2009, a Tunisian blogger and university professor named Fatma was arrested. She had posted one of Zed's cartoons on her Facebook page, and the authorities thought she was Zed. The real Zed then posted this cartoon to tell the authorities, no, Fatma is not me. She's not Zed. And the Tunisian government released Fatma 5 days later. And it's around this time that Zed and other bloggers started a campaign to fight Tunisian censorship. And this cartoon was a comment on that. The guy on the left represents Tunisian censorship, and he's showing off the country's latest internet security system to President Obama. And here's Mr. Censorship once again. Zed has him filling in for the Statue of Liberty, a sort of comment on the limits of press freedom in Tunisia. On January 14, 2011, Tunisian President Ben Ali bowed to pressure and stepped down. Zed posted this cartoon 2 days later. Notice all the people at the table, debating Tunisia's future. This is Zed's vision, that a socialist, a capitalist, bloggers, Islamists, trade unionists can all sit together and talk about the country's future. During these heady first days of the new Tunisia, Zed posts a series of cartoons about what he's dreaming for the new country, where Tunisia's internal security services are now the love services. Tunisians will celebrate romance. Tunis will become a sort of Amsterdam where you can smoke pot anywhere. Schools and universities will be open to debating all kinds of ideas. And Tunisia will be a place where strict Muslims and not so strict Muslims will be tolerant of one another. Where you can go to the beach in a burqa or nothing at all. But when Tunisians actually went to the polls in October 2011 for the first free election in the country's history, citizens voted in an Islamist government. Notice the imagery from the Hajj. And we're back to the table again, and it's starting to empty out. And the loudest voice at the table is from the Islamists. Within several months, a Tunisian blogger is arrested for posting a cartoon that featured the Prophet Muhammad. He's sentenced to 7 years. On the Muslim holiday of Eid, which involves the slaughtering of a sheep, Zed shows Tunisians acting like sheep rather than individuals. In this cartoon, Zed depicts Tunisia as the woman in the red dress, and she's stuck between the authoritarianism of the Ben Ali crowd and the conservatism of the Islamists. And finally, we're back to the table, and everyone's leaving. Whatever national dialogue there was after the revolution, it's now over.